Hey, it's Soul with another video, brought to you by Underwood Chips. Underwood chips. They're potato chips, not wooden chips. So I was asked to make a list of things that you should do before the Battle for Azeroth expansion. And now that I've fulfilled my requirement for an introduction, let's get right to it. We'll start with the things that you've absolutely got to do before they're gone, maybe forever. First is to unlock the artifact appearances that will not be available after Legion. At some point before then, you need to complete a plus 15 mythic dungeon on time for the alternate balance of power skin. Don't worry if you haven't unlocked the base appearance yet though, you can unlock this later and the mythic dungeon appearance will immediately appear. You'll also need to complete the Mage Tower challenge with each spec that you care about, so get right to it. Complete the Brawler's Guild tournament and get all the rewards before it goes on another hiatus, however long that is. Get yourself those mythic raid mounts. There's the Hellfire Infernal in the Nighthold and the Chakred Urzel from Antorus. There is a chance that the quest item that gives you the Violet Spellwing will no longer drop after Legion, so take care of Heroic Argus while you're at it. Killing Helya in the Trial of Valor on Mythic difficulty without dying at all will get you the Chosen title. I couldn't find a statement that this title will go away in Battle for Azeroth, so if you want it, play it safe and go for it now. By the time we get to the Battle for Azeroth, the Undercity and Darnassus will not be accessible the same way that it was before. You can probably expect a party in both cities just beforehand to celebrate some of that nostalgia. The cities will still kind of be accessible if you're a low-level player, but this is just an excuse to hang out. So keep an eye out for some player-run festivities and don't forget to take a few selfies. Now let's move on to the things that you can do now to help you prepare for the next expansion. Farm those Order Hall gold missions and otherwise amass as much gold as possible. As far as we know, there won't be offline progression in the Battle for Azeroth, so no mission table, which means no easy gold rewards. With the WoW token in play, it's hard to predict how this is going to affect future markets, so in the meantime, hide your gold under the mattress, so to speak, and prepare for the storm. If you have your own way of making gold though, great, but hey, why not both? Finish that Legion Pathfinder achievement if you haven't already, I mean, you might as well. You'll end up earning a lot of cosmetic rewards and mounts in the meantime. There's no telling in the future if you'll be compelled to revisit the Broken Isles in Biffa or some future expansion. Flying in Draenor still requires Draenor Pathfinder, so you can expect the same for the Broken Isles, and that'll be mighty convenient if you make a fresh alt. Speaking of alts, you might as well fulfill the requirements for all the allied races. You already did for the Nightborn and the High Mountain Tauren if you have Legion Pathfinder. Unlocking the Lightforged Draenei and Void Elves isn't too much bigger of a stretch. Get yourself a Water Strider mount already. If you experienced early Legion, it was a reasonably big help up until patch 7.2. We don't quite know how Pathfinder is going to work in Biffa, but in the meantime, being able to walk on water, well, it would help. Learn how to make bear tartare, the food that makes you faster every time you kill something. Kill bears in Stormheim to learn the recipe. If you want to make some money, you'll be spending some time with Nomi,
Eredar Lord of the Burning Legion,
to level to rank 3 of this recipe. Keep in mind that this food might be nerfed at some point, but until then, it's a nice buff to have. Finally, here are a few things to keep in mind. There's a ton of transmog gear, pets, and mounts to farm up in Argus. Killing every rare will get you the Commander of Argus achievement, which nets you a lot of weapon skins, and rares themselves have a chance to drop some cool outfits too. I mentioned cooking, but I also suggest getting the other secondary professions out of the way too. For example, weird things are happening to First Aid according to the alpha, so I suggest completing the First Aid achievements as they are. Archaeology already takes up a big chunk of playtime, so if you've been putting it off like I have, now's a good time to knock this out as we wait for the expansion. Fishing is easier to knock out when it's relevant, because a lot of players are participating at the same time, which means that in some cases where you have a chance on cast to spawn something, it helps to be with a group of people. And in that vein, some other achievements will be a lot faster to complete in a group, for example ones that are related to the Centenax. As far as we know, PvP prestige rewards aren't going away, but we don't know if there's going to be any catch-up either. So if you want the rewards from prestiging and you're not too big on PvP, farm up those Warden Towers while you can, because there's no guarantee that an easy equivalent will be available in Biffa. The Dark Iron Dwarves and Zandalari Trolls are coming in the Battle for Azeroth, and we don't quite know how to unlock them yet. And there are other possible races incoming, including orcs from another frickin' planet. I won't tell you to start farming up ancient reputations, but I will say to take a look at where your rep stands now. And if you're really paranoid, and you really have the time on your hands, well, start working them. So that's the list, nice and easy. I hope this was useful, and if so, share it with the world, or, just hit that like button and subscribe for more of this and all things Warcraft. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.